Hi, this is Earthy Indigo, psychic medium, intuitive, and tarot card reader. This is celebrity psychic reading for the relationship of Brad and Jennifer Aniston. The first energy that imprinted upon my spirit was Savior. Savior, I'll save you. I'll help you. I'll groom you. I'll nurture you. I'll love you. I'll take care of you. And that's the energy that comes through from Jennifer Aniston toward Brad Pitt. It's a strong energy of wanting him to be polished, put together. The kind of I lick my thumb and I place your baby hairs and I place your eyebrows and I make sure you don't have anything in your nose and I make sure that your clothes are clean and that your belly is full. Is that energy of wanting to nurture, take care of, smother. There's no way you can go without the love that I give you because I give you everything. That's the energy that comes through from Jennifer Aniston for Brad Pitt. When they were together, the love was real. It was preliminary, the precursor, but the love was genuine, the love was real. The energy that comes through from Brad is that it got to the point where he felt boxed in. He wanted to speak, he wanted to do, he wanted to go, he wanted to say. He didn't want to have to think about what it was that he was going to do and then have to talk to her and do it. And then not do it or have to put it off. It felt like he was feeling boxed in, caged in. There's an energy also of, it was different topics he wanted to speak about. Just things that he wanted to do that he couldn't. And it would always be, okay, I'm going to do this. But then Jen's like, no, 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 no. And Jen's PR is like, no, 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 no. Or it feels like the people that were around her, her marketing, her PR, her people, whoever her people are, it feels like they will always come and say, no, that wouldn't look good for you guys. No, not right now, maybe later. Well, you got this coming out. That wouldn't really look good. What kind of attention are you trying to bring towards us? Or this, that's not really the light. That's not the area you really want to go in. It was always that. It was the energy of Brad feeling stifled, stuck, smothered, suffocated. But the energy that comes through that initially when they got together, Jen was what Brad needed. He genuinely loved her. And the energy that comes through is that he felt horrible when it ended, but he felt like he had to break free. He felt like there was no longer a future long before the public found out they weren't together. I heard there was nowhere for us to go. We reached the ceiling. We reached the roof. Nothing else for us to do. There's an energy of Brad wanting children. I wanted a family. It was the energy of him wanting a family, wanting babies. He didn't want to be babied. He wanted a child of his own. He just felt like there was nowhere else for them to go. He was remorseful when it ended, but he felt like it had to go, like it had to end. It's an energy of the relationship had reached its expiration point. It feels like Jen took it extremely hard. It was extremely heartbreaking for her. It's the energy of after all I did. She felt like she sacrificed to be in the relationship. A lot of career moves as well. But there's an energy of him being a trophy, a window piece, a prize, a possession. And Brad didn't want to be possessed. He wasn't a possession. He's a man. The energy is that sex was great in the beginning. The energy that comes through as it goes on, just mediocre. Things began to get mediocre. But there was a genuine love and a genuine friendship. And that's toward the beginning and in the middle. There's an energy that there still is an affinity. It just feels like there's so many lines that's been crossed that it's hard to get back to the friendship. Jen felt betrayed, partially used, but there's an energy that Brad didn't want to owe his life to anybody. He wanted to be free. Like, he didn't want to owe his life and his essential being to another person. Nonetheless, a woman that he should call his own, I have to owe my life to you? No. Couldn't do it. There's an energy of Jen trying to play it off. Like, no, I just do these things because I care. I do these things because I love you. I do these things because it makes sense. We're together. But there's an energy of control behind that as well. There's an energy of it being manipulative. And Brad was aware of that. He just wanted to be free. He wanted the love to be genuine and not feeling like I have to love you because of all the things you did for me. Or I have to love you, or I belong to you because you did all of this for me. It's that kind of an energy. He wanted to be an individual, and she was more of the merge together, but let me be the leader. The public played out like, Jen would go into hiding and be so hurt when it ended. The energy is that she was hurt that it ended. It was an extreme embarrassment and it was an extreme broken heart, but it didn't take her that long to kind of get back to her normal life, or try to. It's just that everything was played out in the public. It feels like she knew he was slipping away. It was just a matter of time. She knew that she knew that he was slipping away. Feels like she tried to grab and keep a grip, but it was in no holding him. It was like hot. Like, too hot, can't hold it. Too hot, can't hold it. Because he started to be unresponsive in conversation. It feels like he started to be unresponsive, started to give her one word answers, or, you want to do this? Yeah, that's cool. You want to do that? Okay. Do you really care? You a romantic dinner? I think we have something, Oh, yeah, okay. Like, he started to be unresponsive, and she knew. He started to not be. She couldn't get a grip, and she knew. And it feels like emotionally she started preparing herself, but the energy is that she did have a lot of people around her. It feels like feminine energy around her that helped pull her through. It feels like she looked to the strength of someone that was really close to her. It feels like she even channeled the energy of someone. It feels like a grandmother, a mother energy, a great aunt energy, feminine energy. A lot of women and people in her family really stood by her and helped her to get through. She did have some really dark days and dark nights after a lot of dates with ice cream and snacks. But she pulled through. Especially when it feels like, it was a lot of days where the curtains were closed and the room was dark. You gotta hear about your ex, who she felt she'd done so much for, which was part of the karmic debt that she had to pay. Like, you're investing all of this into this person, but what is your real intent behind it? Are you truly doing it because you love this person and you genuinely care, or are you doing it because you feel like it will hold this person and keep them to you, make them cling to you and need you to the point where they won't want to leave? And that's the lesson it feels like she had to learn, that you can't make a person love you after it's over or gone. You can't make a person care about you just because they do fancy things or do fancy things for you. Things won't keep a person that has their own integrity, mind, individuality, and expression that they have to fulfill. And it feels like Brad had the world. It felt like the world should have been his oyster, but felt like he was locked in a cage. The energy that comes through us now, it feels like only the recent few years did Brad start to really reflect on how it could have affected her and how it could have hurt her, but he knew internally what she was doing to him and how he was being kind of crafted and manipulated, and he knew he had to get away. Yeah, I know it hurt your feelings and I broke your heart, but I know why you were trying to keep me and how you were trying to keep me, and it wasn't out of genuine love at the time. It was because of how I look. It was because of what it looks like to be with me, not because you really love me. It was because I'm a trophy, like I'm your trophy piece. I'm your kept man, so to speak. Even though Brad had his own money, it was still different roles and things would come up, and at one point she was more powerful than he. Different things would come up, and there's an energy of her even blocking certain deals and movies and roles just to keep him B-level, just to keep him just with his neck above water, so to speak, in the industry. It's an energy of a lot of manipulation there. It's like, oh, I got something good. Let me grab it. Let me hold it. Let me keep it. Let me smother it. Let me keep it. Let me keep it. Let me keep it. No, you're not going to get away. That's the kind of energy that comes through. It just feels like now that the last few years, it's like he's reflecting over it. There's an energy that they have had some conversations, and that, he's reached out, but it doesn't feel like it's a good role to go back down at all. And I know Jennifer is married now, but the energy is that if anything, she would just want to gloat her happiness in his face, in a sense, like, oh no, I'm fine, But it feels like he's reached out to apologize. Just reached out to see how she was doing. But the energy there is there's too many bridges has been burnt. Like, he's had children with another woman, children that they couldn't have together. It's just too much there. But the energy is that for photo ops and publicity, it feels like in the future there will be public outings and public sightings of them. Feels like they're going to be coming from a coffee shop. They're going to be out at somewhere to eat. It feels like there's going to be publicity around them, and it's going to be all over tabloids. It's going to be all in the media, all on, all of these different shows where they're building around publicity, and it even feels like they're going to work together on a film. It feels like they're going to come together and they will have a film together. There will be a Jen and Brad film. That energy comes through very strong. There is going to be a Jen and a Brad film. And it feels like it has a comedic tone to it. But it's going to take a lot, it feels like, behind the scenes for them to come. Brad is cool, like because he wasn't the one jilted and hurt. That, so he's cool, but it feels like it's gonna take Jen a moment, and it feels like she's gonna have to talk to her woman group, her people who holds her down, and see if she's gonna be able to withstand going through this with him. But it feels like they're gonna make some money. Feels like they're gonna make money together, and they're going to have a film. And it feels like it's going to be a comedic undertone, poking fun at what happened between them. Not so much satire where it's directly around their relationship, but it feels like they're going to be in a romantic comedy together where the man leaves the woman. It feels like it gets deep, and people want to see it, and they come out and they support it. And it gives them both a boost, a career boost. Even though they're both famous in their own right, the careers haven't been at the highest of heights that they could have been these last 5, 6, 7 years. And it feels like they're going to do a film together. It feels like it's going to be a romantic comedy. Jen is still, the energy that comes through, even though she's moved on with her life, is still kind of like a cringe when it comes to him. It's a cringe, and she's working through it. She's been to therapy even before her marriage. She's been to counseling. She's had the women in her family hold her down. But it's still a cringe, and that's what she's working past. But it feels like for the money that's going to be coming from this film, and the upfront pay and the checks and the publicity that comes from it, she's going to be able to turn on her acting chops, turn that frown upside down and that grinch when she looks at him, and be able to work together on this film. It feels like they're going to come out with a film, Jen and Brad, a romantic comedy poking fun at what their relationship was, but not so much so that you say that's directly what happened. No, it's kind of a satire, a romantic comedy poking fun. But it feels like it's going to be a big hit. Alright, I'm Earthy Indigo, psychic, medium, intuitive, and tarot card reader. Click on the link in the description to book a reading. Remember, it's 3 questions for $10. I'm Earthy Indigo, and I love to read for you. Bye.